Hey guys, a couple days ago I went and saw the new religious film I Can Only Imagine. This was a movie that came out like a week or a couple weeks ago that I had no desire to go see, mainly because not not because I'm not a religious person whatsoever. It's mainly because for pretty much a majority, about 99% of these type of films that have been coming out over the last few years have been pretty fucking awful. The only one I really got to see in the theaters was The Case for Christ, and I hated that movie. It was my second worst film of the year last year. I was not a big fan of that movie whatsoever. And I've seen stuff like God's Not Dead and like Old Fashioned and Mom's Night Out, and those movies are just plain fucking offensive. They're some of the worst fucking movies come out of the last couple of years, especially God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2. So, yeah, I was not particularly wanting to see this movie because, like, I just from past experiences know that these movies are fucking terrible. And then this movie started getting decent reviews. It's been getting pretty good reviews, like 67% on Rotten Tomatoes stands at right now. I kept an eye on it, like seeing what are the reviews were getting, were staying positive or they ended up becoming negative. But they've been pretty positive for the most part all across the board. Not just like religious reviewers, but like pretty good critics, pretty well-known critics have been giving this decent reviews. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to fucking see this now. I forgot to mention this when I saw Love, Simon. One of the funniest fucking things about that movie when I saw it was that it was playing the auditorium that was playing Love, Simon was right next to the auditorium playing I Can Only Imagine. Talk about two movies that are polar opposites of each other. That's pretty fucking hilarious. I was glad to go to support Love, Simon over this shit, but yeah, like I said, I went and saw this movie on a Saturday. It was like fucking crowded. It was like maybe about as fucking crowded as like Black Panther was. Like, damn, this movie, like it was a lot of Bible thumping people go to see this movie. And like I said, I'd seen the trailers, and even the trailers looked fine. But it was like I just have been left a sour taste in my mouth with these fucking religious movies that keep coming out every year. Seems like every fucking month. And I'll be fair. I'll be honest and fair with this movie. This movie wasn't that bad. It wasn't. Out of all the religious films out there, this is the least offensive. It's probably the most well acted. Uh, it has a really pretty good message to it. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Um, for me having about zero having so low of expectations into this, I walked out of it and went, yeah, that was fine. There were things I liked. There were things that I didn't like. But overall, I would say it's a rental. I guess if you're religious, you're going to see this one way or another. Um, it's a movie I probably will never watch again. Have no desire really ever to watch again, and probably won't remember much about it like a couple months time. But it was fine. It was perfectly fine. Um, the acting in this movie is pretty goddamn good. I'll give it that. Especially the lead actor. I forget the hell. What was his guy? He played the character of Bart. Who was a pretty solid actor. I've never seen him in anything. I don't think he's ever really been in anything before, and he did a pretty good job carrying like the lead role. He was really pretty good in the movie. I'll give him credit. Like you show like the emotional journey this guy goes through is pretty good. Like the scenes between him and Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid was really good in this movie too. As his a really abusive asshole of a dad, who just you see their relationship throughout the years. And I've said the best part about this movie, the best parts of this movie were the scenes with the main actor who played Bart and Dennis Quaid. They were really good together. Like, they had great chemistry. Like, especially the scenes, like, middle of the movie when he finds out, spoiler alert if you don't know, I think pretty much everybody knows if you've seen the trailers, or even some people that are religious know the story. He finds out his dad's got cancer, and the scenes between the two of them are really fucking good. Really well acted. Like I said, Dennis Quaid, one, is just a fucking great actor. And, like, it was really good. Like, really well acted scenes. Those scenes were the strongest parts of the movie. Like, any scene with them. The movie, like I said, it's got a really good message about redemption, about somebody trying to find redemption, even if they are really terrible, almost kind of a terrible person. Even though I have a problem with this. There's one problem I have with this fucking film, is that, well, among a few other problems I have with this film, but I don't understand why the dad got so much shit from the son, from him, as much as he did. His mom was the one who fucking left him with Dennis Quaid. And by the end of the movie, you find out, him and his mom have a good relationship. I'm like, dude, the bitch left you! Like, even worse, she was in an abusive relationship with Dennis Quaid and decides to take her son to camp. And while her son is at camp, basically, she moves out. And then when he comes home from camp, she's gone. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why is she not the person that you hate the fucking most? Why is Dennis Quaid, like, she's a terrible person. Like, really is a terrible person. Like, she is. Like, she is, maybe, like, she had a better reasoning, maybe, but, like, seriously. Like, you know, you leave your kid with this abusive asshole of a guy? Like, really? Like, don't even try to attempt to, like, maybe fight the guy with custody? Nothing. Doesn't even fucking, like, appear for the rest of the movie. Other than, like, at the end when you find out he has a great relationship with her now. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, am I the only one who had a problem with that? I hope I'm not. But, yeah, it's like, yeah, that bugged the hell out of me. Like I said, the acting is fine, everything else is fine. My main problem with this movie is that, other than, like, the scenes of the story with Bart and his dad and all that stuff like that, the redemption story and everything else that was going on there, and all the scenes there, when you got into the biopic shit, I could not give a fuck. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but that was some of the worst parts about the movie. It was so cliched, so dumb. Like, my favorite part of this whole movie is something people crack up when I tell them the story. One of my favorite scenes in this whole movie is, and one of the reasons why, like, just a great example of how stupid the biopic part of this movie is there's the part where he comes across this band, Mercy Me, and he's like a tech guy, setting up their amps and everything else like that, and he overhears them talking about, we're about to perform in front of this, like, youth group or whatever like that, but we don't have a vocalist. Like, what? Like, how the hell would you be signed to perform in front of a youth group or signed to anything if you're not don't have a fucking vocalist? It's not like, the vocalist dropped out or anything like that. They don't say that. No, they don't have a vocalist. How the fuck are you a band? Like, seriously, how are you a band if you don't have a fucking vocalist? What was your end game? Like, it's just. And so randomly he's like, I'm a guy that's a vocalist. And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've seen in a biopic ever. Like, that might be one of the stupidest things. Like, it jumps from, like, like time spans like so ridiculously. Like he's like success like this movie has a tendency of doing that a lot, which a lot of biopics do. So I didn't have a problem with that too. I also really fucking thought the scene was hilarious. And I've seen a couple people mention this, but this was hilarious. They show like the high school, like the kid version of Bart, who's played by this younger kid actor who's not very good. That was one of the problems with the movie. The beginning of the movie, the kid actors were pretty fucking bad. They were pretty. I mean, I know it's mean to pick on kid actors, but there are good kid actors out there. These kids were not. Like they were not good actors, kid actors. But my favorite part of this whole movie is one of my other unintentionally favorite part of this movie is when they show him in high school. Now, obviously, they hired a younger kid to play him as a little boy. Now, you would think they probably would play. This guy's got to be 30 years old, right? I don't know how old he is, but he's got to be 30. Some of the guys playing Bart has to be 30 something years old. And instead of having a younger guy play the high school version of him, he's playing the high school version of him, full beard and everything. And they try to like kind of get around that by like having his friend go, "Oh, you look with that beard, you look like you're 35." Like, "Oh, fuck you, movie." Like, I did chuckle at that, but I was like, "Fuck you, movie." I was like he's the oldest fucking high schooler I've ever seen. I mean, I know that's the thing that happens all the time in movies, but that has to be one of the dumbest cases, the funniest cases I've seen in a while of that. Like, he looks like he's 30 or 35. Like, he doesn't look like a fucking teenager. And it interaction with his girlfriend is like, I couldn't give a fuck about his girlfriend that much. And like the song, like I crack up, like apparently the song is like this greatest song ever made by, like, the greatest Christian rock song ever made. It's just their generic paint by numbers fucking it's nothing, like, it's not bad, but it's like, yeah, it came out in 97. I don't fucking remember this shit. It's apparently a triple platinum song, and I'm like, I don't remember that. Maybe because I'm not religious, I don't remember that, but I'm like, I guess that was like, it was apparently a big fucking hit. Yeah, like the movie does, like, you know, hit close home to me because I lost my dad, and it had kind of a similar story where he didn't find Jesus or find God or anything like that, like Dennis Quaid's character did, but he kind of tried to redeem himself and become a good person and like stuff like that. And it's like, it did kind of hit close home to me. Like, I admit I kind of got a little teary-eyed here and there towards the end of this middle of this movie, but like, it was perfectly fine. Like I said, because it was well acted by fucking Dennis Quaid. Like I said, the biopic shit was dumb. It was really dumb. God, yeah, it was so generic paint by numbers. If I've ever seen one as far as biopics go, like I said, it's a rental, I guess. It's the least offensive religious movie I've seen in forever. Yeah. Well, I wasn't pissed about that movie. What I was more pissed about was the fucking trailers that I got. Hold on, let me get these pulled up here. Yes, except for one trailer, which I didn't find that bad, but the other ones were really fucking terrible. The one that was not bad was a documentary called Pope Francis, A Man of His Word. It's basically an interview with Pope Francis and talking about his views on religion and stuff like that, like different societal issues that are going on in the world. And I'm like, yeah, that don't look bad. It looked like it was... I said, it looked like a decent little documentary. I was like, if done right, it could be alright. Like I said, this Pope, like one of those guys. It's like a lot of ultra religious people don't like. I know if anybody in the comments can tell me that's Catholic or whatever, that's really Catholic, let me know. Yeah, like it didn't look bad. It didn't look like anything offensive or would piss me off, but it's like whatever. But shortly after that, that changed pretty fucking quickly. As I had no idea this was a fucking thing that's existing, but apparently it is. Unbroken. What is it? Okay, Unbroken. I got a trailer for Unbroken: Path to Redemption. Hey, all right. I'm gonna ask this right now. Raise your hand if you knew that there was gonna be a sequel to Unbroken. Probably nobody. I fucking guarantee nobody. Made by Pureflix. Who the hell asked for a sequel to Unbroken? Now, I'm one of the few people that didn't hate Unbroken. I understand the hatred that movie gets, but I didn't hate Unbroken. I thought it was like it told a story of a guy who was really a really big hero, a real true hero, Louis Zamperini or whatever his name was. I think that's what I know. It was Louis. It's a real true hero, and it has if you ever want to read like a really great book, read his book about that. This movie is the original Unbroken is based off of. But now we're getting a fucking follow-up of him, a fucking Pureflix making a movie about PTSD. This could only go as bad as I could fucking imagine. And it's like, oh, Jesus, man, no. Like, who asked for this? No. Just no. Fuck you. Just no. He's being haunted by the ghost of the Japanese guy that held him captive. And I'm like, oh, God, no. I'm just sitting here like, this looks terrible. It's like I was infuriated. Like I quite literally wasn't paying attention to the trailer until it fucking dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, they made an Unbroken sequel. Why? And I was just furious. I went, fuck you. It's like I was so furious. And I was like, God why? Like, is this something that exists? I don't know why I'm so bad about it, but I am. Oh, God. But then, just when you think, okay, I can't be more pissed off than that, I got the trailer for God's Not Dead, A Light in the Darkness. Fuck these God's Not Dead bullshit movies. They need to go to just be non-existent. People, quit watching these fucking movies. Oh, I get furious with these movies. These are the worst kinds of movies that are out there. They give religious people bad fucking names. Christian people, religious people, any kind of religion, it gives bad fucking names. These movies are atrocious. They're unbelievably, if you believe that these things happen in real life, you're a fucking moron, alright? I refuse to believe anybody's that moronic and believes that the shit that these movies portray, people actually think happen. I hope to God people don't, but we voted for Trump, so I don't know, I guess, why not? But yeah, fuck that. God, I'm not even spend any time. I'm not seeing that shit. I will not see it. God's Not Dead. You can kiss my ass. I don't care. I will not give that movie a cent of my money whatsoever. They can kiss my ass. Pureflix is the worst production studio going, and they need to end fucking quickly. People need to quit letting these people make money because they're going to continue making movies like this. And make movies like I Can Only Imagine. I have no problem. Giving money to I Can Only Imagine. Not God's Not Dead. Fuck that shit. So yeah, that's my rant. That felt good. Alright, I got one more review to do here, and I'll be back here in a second.